Hi, it's your Kiwi crypto bro Suda, back with another video about Polytimos. We're going to be discussing Polyshield. Polyshield is a set of services offered by the Polytimos team. Services offered so far include masternode hosting, shared masternode hosting, website design and hosting. I will go further into what a masternode is and how it all works in this video, but first I just want to say a little about why Polyshield is going to have such a positive impact, not just on Polycoin itself, but also for the wider crypto ecosystem by supporting different coins by acquiring masternodes, and have a link to day-to-day businesses by offering website services as well. If you have seen the last video on what is Polytimos, I go through various factors on what makes this coin unique, algorithm being one of them. If you want to know more about Polytimos, I suggest watching that video. The other main enticing aspect about Polytimos is Polyshield. Here is the polyshield.online website. This is still in beta phase at the moment. I had mentioned that Polytimos team planned to release some services that will make Polytimos a strong player in the entire ecosystem of cryptocurrency. Being just a peer-to-peer currency isn't going to get a coin noticed or used in any significant way these days. Polyshield addresses this by offering services built on the back of Polytimos. The website design and hosting services will only accept Poly as a way of payment, which will get the coin's daily volume and trade up slowly, and by offering the masternode hosting, the service will use the fee, currently 10%, but will likely go lower in the future, to drive more resources into Polyshield, and also having an optional reward payout system. The minimum split is 25-75. Meaning if the payout of the reward of holding the masternode was 10 coins for a given period, you will get 7.5 coins that are the masternode coin itself, and 2.5 coins worth that have been converted to the Poly value and paid out to your Poly wallet address. You can of course put that Poly back on an exchange and swap it back, or swap it to whatever coin. It's your crypto. However, the minimum 25-75 split is just the minimum. If you wish, you can get payouts that are 100% in Poly value for the masternode reward, but nearly everyone who's joined Polyshield so far has requested 50-50 split, including me. Now, keeping Polycoin as a part of the payout system and using the fees is a solid foundation to develop more services, put aside funds for more innovations, all the while keeping Poly's transactions and demand high. It also ensures Poly is being talked about in other coins forums, for example the masternodes Polyshield acquires, giving Polytimos community a stake in the governance of those coins, thus having Polytimos as a strong player in the wider crypto ecosystem, market share and mind share, because it'll have lots of people talking about it and lots of people investing into it as well. I mean, this is all ideally speaking, of course, but the way I see it going, I'm very hopeful for it. Before I go any further, I want to quickly explain what a masternode is and why it's attractive to investors within the crypto ecosystem. The short answer is passive income. Masternodes are a means of supporting a coin by acquiring a lot of it, being available 24/7 to carry out some tasks and functions, and getting a reward for your contribution in the form of regular payouts of the coin itself, on top of what you already hold. Masternodes are a cryptocurrency full node or wallet that not only keeps a full copy of the entire blockchain on the computer and stays on 24/7 to contribute to services and validation of transactions on the network, they also perform key functions like supporting anonymity on the network by using private send, dark send, etc., providing instant transactions, letting you partake in governing decisions of the coin by allowing masternode owners to vote on the future services of a certain coin. And the most important point of having a masternode is you are keeping a lot of coin put aside to strengthen the trust in the coin and the network itself. Think of the last point like holding a long-term deposit in a bank. You put a large chunk of money aside that you don't touch in a bank, and for showing trust in that particular bank to make wise investment choices, you get paid out a regular interest and bonus payment. You are basically acting as guarantors for the bank and getting paid for it. Except in the case of crypto, you take on all the responsibility of supporting the network, plus participating in the treasury aspect and the budgeting aspect of the economy of that particular cryptocurrency, and you get paid out a lot more than the bank will give you. To own a masternode or a shared masternode, one or more will need to purchase or mine the amount of coins specified for the masternode, put them in a wallet, keep it running 24/7 and stake them. Basically, do not spend any of the coin needed for the duration of the time you wish to keep that masternode. But you can of course spend the reward payouts you receive. In the case of a shared masternode, the payouts are divided amongst the contributors. For example, one of the shared masternodes in the first round of Polyshield, a coin called Innova, specifies 1,000 coins to run a masternode. The second coin in the first round of Polyshield is called BitCloud, and that one specifies 10,000 coins. The price for each coin is different too, so even though the quantity of coin may be different for each masternode, the BTC or the fiat value of the entire masternode will vary too. I hope this has explained masternodes and why they are valuable for us. Now let's get back to Polyshield. Polyshield lets you invest into various masternode coins like Innova and BitCloud, but lets someone else worry about running the masternode itself, or the electricity or the resources plus maintenance. Polyshield also gains trust and goodwill because so many people are trusting Polytimos team with a huge amount of coin. Much like an exchange or online wallets gain trust by having so many coins stashed away by so many people. But the very enticing aspect for me regarding Polyshield is shared masternodes. I'm way too poor to be able to afford masternodes I'd actually like to get into, and usually you will have to find a group on a forum or Discord chat willing to set up a shared masternode. You have no idea who this person is, usually, and if something goes wrong, there's no team to answer questions. Just some other crypto bro or sis you have to wait till they get back home to fix whatever went wrong and restart the masternode while missing rewards for that period. Polyshield is run by the same team that runs Polytimos, and are incorporating their coin into real-world services. The dev has been very transparent in regards to issues and triumphs, plus the team gives regular updates of service launches and have been available to answer questions promptly. Having a team looking after a shared masternode is very appealing to me, and there hasn't been any downtime since the beginning of the first round of Polyshield. So if you want to use Polyshield and get into the shared masternodes, etc., or maybe you have an idea for a website, the first thing you need to do is find the forum thread that you need to use to register your interest. I'll put the links to everything below. Once you have commented in that thread, you will be invited to the Polyshield private group. There you will see different threads about running shared masternodes, upcoming acquisitions, your contributions you would like to make to the new coins, and voting for what masternodes the community would like to get into in the future. I will detail my experience with the first round of Polyshield so you can make a decision for yourself if it's something you would like to get into. So the first round of Polyshield was, as I mentioned, acquiring two masternodes, Innova and BitCloud. The forum is updated with a contributions thread after the coins are announced. As I mentioned, I'm pretty poor, so my contributions was only 3.6% for Innova and 3% for BitCloud. This is after the deduction of the fee. This fee will reduce over time, but it has gone into securing more coins and services, so it's a good revenue stream for the team. Plus, you will also notice the team has had to contribute quite a large sum of the masternode themselves. Presumably, since Poly is such a new coin, not enough people had heard about it. Now, since I've joined, a lot of people have become Polyshield members via the registration thread, which is great to see. Now, back on the contributions page, you can see my input was a mix of the masternode coin itself plus some Poly coin also. I have been mining some coins so far and swapped my minings for BitCloud value. Interestingly enough, my 7,000 Poly contribution is now worth more than the BitCloud, which is a great sign for Poly already. Now you can send your contributions to the masternode wallet set up by the team. Next step is the setup of the masternode itself, which takes a few days, and once the devs have announced the start of the masternode, they moved on to setting up a monitoring section in masternodes.online. It's a great website to keep track of masternodes and also finding new coins. The monitoring will also be available on the Polyshield website, but since that is still in beta, using masternode.online we can keep track of the status of the masternode. So using the key created for us by the team, we can look up on masternode.online the status of the first round of Polyshield. Here we can see that the Innova and BitCloud masternodes are both active, pinging with the network, and hasn't had any downtime and has been paying out rewards. Fast forward a few weeks and the team has updated the round 1 Polyshield area in the forums with a payout thread. Now all you need to do is let the team know how you would like to structure your payouts. There's a minimum amount of payout that will be paid out in poly value for each masternode coin, but having a payout structure featuring poly keeps the daily volume up, keeps the transactions up, and strengthens the blockchain and helps the coin grow and have more demand. As you can see, since the start of the masternode, my initial 3% contributions to the BitCloud masternode have resulted in a reward payout of 23.7 BTDX. Take half away to swap to poly value, leaving me with 11.8 BTDX and 194 poly. My 3.6% contributions to the Innova masternode have resulted in a payout of 6.3 Innova, so again take away half to swap for poly, leaving me with 3.1 Innova and 674 poly. Once the payout is done, you can check your wallets and see it in your portfolio. Now keep in mind, my initial investment is still untouched, the masternode is still running, this is merely passive income. So, to put it in perspective, I had spent around 600 New Zealand dollars getting into these masternodes for the first round of Polyshield. Since then, all 3 coins, Innova, BitCloud and Polytimos, have all gone up in value. And my first payout at the time I received it was close to 100 New Zealand dollars worth. And my initial investment, including the payout plus the rising value of the coin, or even say at the current prices of the coin, I will reach return on investment within 3 months. Please follow the links below to get registered and go to the second round contributions thread if you don't want to miss out. The latest masternodes in line for acquisition is Crowdcoin, Bulwark, Numis, Onion and Goa Coin. All these coins are available on Cryptopia if you want to purchase them and contribute to the round 2 of Polyshield.